What's up, everybody? My name's Jay, and I'm one of the co-owners of Valley Birds Disc Golf. This is my 2026 in the bag. So starting off with putters, if I can get them out of here. I putt with the Gannon Flex D-Line P2X. I bounced around to a bunch of different putters when I first started playing. Started with AVRs, and then I went to Pixels, and I went to Discmania Logics. I like the texture of the Discmania Logic, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. I emulate my putting game off of Gannon a lot, and so I was really interested to see what he putted with, and then he dropped these and had to get my hands on them. They've got a beaded rim, which is kind of cool, and it's really helped me get a lot more spin on my disc because I kind of putt with a fan and with my finger underneath the rim like that. Some people putt like this. I get my finger really far underneath there, and it's tacky, it's really stiff, just has a ton of really good grip, and they look cool. So, moving on. For my approach putters, I've got two here. My favorite disc in the bag is the Innova Toro. This is in the Star Plastic. This is just a meat hook of an approach disc. When I first started playing, I played primarily forehand, and I found it really hard to forehand putters and approach discs. I feel like I was always turning them over, or I was just really inconsistent with it. I couldn't get a lot of distance with it. And then I started throwing these, and it is just a meat hook of an approach disc. Super torque resistant, really flat and comfortable to forehand. It almost kind of has like a puddle top to it. And this was just a game changer for my approach game. I'm throwing this probably every hole, just about. I just have the most trust in this disc. I think out of every disc in my bag, this one has to be my favorite. And then just a step up from that is the Westside Harp. Kind of similar to a Zone. Same thing as a Toro, really flat. Feels really good in the hand, forehand wise. It's not super domey. That's kind of how I like it. And this is the disc I pull out if I need maybe 50 extra feet than I would with my Toro. This thing has the same flight path as my Toro, but it just pushes straight for a little bit longer. So if I'm just outside of the distance that I feel comfortable with my Toro, I can pull this out, throw it exactly the same as I would my Toro, and I have a lot of trust that it's gonna fly the further distance, but give me a reliable torque-resistant fade at the end. And this was dyed by Nick, so this one's very special to me. It looks really cool when it's flying. Moving on to mid-ranges, bag 3 here. Starting with the understable, I do a James Conrad Detour. This is in the Neutron plastic. I kind of slept on this one for a little while. I didn't really find a need for understable mid-range for a long time. Like I said, I kind of like something a little bit more on the overstable side. But this has been a game changer for me. If you do not have one of these, I definitely recommend it. I can throw this thing off the tee and I can get an insane amount of distance. It just has so much glide. I can throw it on a hyzer and it'll flip up to flat and just push and push and push and push and push and just kind of fall gently. It doesn't have a ton of fade at the end of it. And this has just been a disc I didn't know I needed, but I'm very happy I have. So moving up in stability, the best mid-range I think that's ever been made is the Axiom Hex. This thing's just a beast. It flies super straight, mine is still pretty stable. I've had this for a while now, but it still gives me a lot of fade at the end of the flight, but it just pushes straight for so long. Same thing, I can put this on kind of like a hyzer flip shot, just pushes straight. I can throw it on a anhyzer and it'll carry the anhyzer. It'll just keep turning. I can put this on a hyzer and it will, go pretty straight before it starts fading pretty heavy. Any shot I need, this disc will do it. So best mid-range in my opinion is the Hex from Axiom. And then the overstable equivalent, I use the Axiom Balance. This is basically like my Toro on steroids. If I really need a really far overstable shot, this is the one that I'm gonna pull out. I love this for backhand too. I'm not super strong with my backhand, but I know that regardless of the angle that I'm gonna let the disc go at, as long as I let it go on time, it's gonna fly exactly where I want it to. It's gonna fly straight, it's not gonna turn over or anything like that. It's just gonna push straight and then really have a heavy fade at the end of the flight. Almost aced with this thing yesterday. So, some honorable mentions here. I just got these today. They just came into the shop, available for purchase the day I'm filming this. So I haven't thrown these yet, so a little bit of honorable mention. I got the brand new Tour Series Champion Halo Gator 3. Like I said, I haven't thrown this one yet, but I think it's gonna fit right into my mix of mid-ranges. I think that this is gonna be like a good blend between my balance and my Toro as far as the amount of like force that I could put on this disc and really push it far. But no, it just wants to fade out, which is perfect for my kind of forehand shot. So I'm really excited about this disc. Haven't thrown it yet, gonna do that later today. And then I also had to get the Halo Star Bradley Williams Baby Destroyer. I've been searching for a disc like this for a long time. A disc that's lightweight, that is super overstable, super torque resistant, but it has that lighter weight. I feel like I've tended to have an issue with lighter discs in my bag just because I have a tendency to turn them over and they just become rollers right away. This disc, I'm really confident it's not going to be that disc. I think this is the disc I've been looking for. It's 157 grams. I think it's by far the lightest disc that I bag. Just super excited to try this one out. I think it's going to be great for my game. All right, moving into fairways. Let's see here. I've got quite a few. Let's see here. All right, starting with the 6.5 speeds. I've got the Axiom Cosmic Neutron Crave. This is one of my favorite discs in my bag. This changed my mind as far as fairway drivers go. I was one of those guys that was like, if I need a really, really far shot, I need to have a distance driver. I need to have a 11 speed, a 12 speed. This changed my opinion on that. From the get-go, when I got this disc, I could let this thing go straight and it's just a laser beam. Flies exactly where you're aiming. No turn, no crazy fade. It's just exactly the angle that you want to put on it. It's gonna go that way. And it goes so far for a fairway. The farthest fairway I have in my bag by far. I would put this up with my distance drivers if I'm looking for a shot that it's a tight gap, I need to go dead straight and really far, I'm pulling out the Crave. Then I have the Servo. I lost this one for like 6 months. Thank you, Lucas, if you're watching this. Found it up in a tree and it had been up there for forever. So this thing is kind of like a Crave, just a little bit more stable. It's can be a meat hook at times. If you put it on hyzer, it'll fly on like a meat hook. But if you let this thing go flat on a little anhyzer, it just pushes straight, but has a pretty reliable fade at the end. Got this disc purely for the aesthetic. I hadn't heard really much about the Servo, but once I started throwing it, I understand why it's a really popular mold. Just a super reliable fairway driver. And then my overstable 6.5 speed is the Eagle McMahon resistor. This is in the Proton plastic. This thing is so stable, meat hook, and I love discs like that I just know I can put it on any angle, I can tomahawk it even, and it's gonna still fade. It just becomes really reliable. I just aced with this last week as well, so very lucky disc in the bag. If I lose this one, I will be very sad. Moving on to 7 speeds here, starting with the understable. I have a Moonshine Opto River from Latitude 64. Don't forehand this disc all that often. It's kind of my roller disc. If I throw it on forehand, it's just a little bit too understable, so it wants to just roll over, even if I put it on hyzer. But this has really helped me with my backhand game. Just understanding angles. I don't have to throw it really hard. It has so much glide, so it's going to carry pretty good distance for me. If I need a shot that I have to throw backhand that just goes straight, I'm going to be pulling out the river. It's a really cool disc, but I'm still kind of figuring it out myself. On the in-between of that, I bag an Innova Champion Eagle. This is the Ken Climo Edition Eagle. This thing is cool. I've had this disc for a long time. It's really beat in now. It pushes really, really straight. But it was kind of like a sleeper in my bag for so long. I really didn't pull it out all that often. But I saw Calvin Heimberg talk so much good things about this disc, and I was like, okay, I gotta try throwing it. And it really has been that for me. It's just my straight flyer. I can put it on any angle and it's just gonna kind of keep that angle pushing straight. If I put on hyzer, it kind of flips up to straight and then gives me a good reliable fade at the end of the flight. And just goes way further than you would think for just a 7-speed. And especially with it being 4 glide, you would think it's gonna wanna get to the ground really quick. Not really the case for me. I can put this up in the air and that thing's gonna keep carrying really straight for a really far time. Super underrated disc for Mega Rod. And then the last of my 7 speeds, I have a Evolution, I think it's like the S-Line Evolution Instinct. I think they've renamed this disc since. I think it's a different mold now. But I've been bagging one of these since I first started disc golfing. I had like a pink S-Line Evolution. It had like a cool OTB stamp on it, and it is currently my wife's bag now, and she enjoys that disc very much. So I'm borrowing this one from Caleb actually, because I've missed this disc a lot. So Instinct, great overstable fairway driver. Moving on to my favorites, I have a Evolution Essence from Discmania. This is another one that got lost for a really long time. Can't say enough good things about this. Again, just like the River, this is my backhand disc. If I need to throw a backhand shot, I'm pulling this out. It just has so much glide and it flies really, really straight. Not a whole crazy lot of fade, kind of understable, but I can get a lot of distance on a backhand with this disc. Forehand as well. This is one that I can hyzer flip super easily and it just pushes for forever. So this is one that got lost in a pond at Dog Park for probably a year. So that's why it looks like this, but still flies just as great. So, and then my favorite of the fairways is the Insanity. I just bagged this maybe a couple weeks ago, and I'm pulling this out just about every tee shot nowadays, just because it's such a cool disc. Late flipper, I can let this thing go flat and it'll push straight for a long time, and then it'll do that late turn and really just keep that turn going, and then it really has a hard fade at the end of this flight too. So kind of like the Crave in a sense that I can throw this really far, exactly where I'm aiming, and it's gonna pretty much end up landing where I'm needing it to land. Super cool colorway. This is the Cosmic Neutron plastic. Can't say enough of good things about the Insanity. It's my new favorite disc in my bag for sure. All right, moving on to distance drivers. Got quite a few too. I don't throw all that often. I'm much more in this area of my game where I'm throwing a lot more fairways than distance drivers, but you're always gonna need a good distance driver, especially on windy days. First off, I've got this Proto Halix. This is the Ricky Wysocki disc from Discraft that they just put out. Reminds me a lot like a Thunderbird. When I used to throw Thunderbirds when I first started playing a lot. Very similar type of disc. I think it just pushes a little straight and a little further than a Thunderbird does. Can't get enough of this one. This has been my just go-to forehand shot off the tee if I need it to go up in the air and just fade really far. This is the one. I can put this on a flex line and it'll kind of turn for me for a bit, and then it'll really fade at the end like a destroyer. Super cool disc. Still kind of figuring out the kinks with it a little bit. Haven't had it for too long since it just came out, but I'm really liking it so far. My favorite distance driver is the Trail. I bagged 2 of them. This is just the basic Neutron Trail. This is my flippy one. Somewhat unstable. If I put this flat, it's just gonna carry left for quite a while and just keep pushing left. If I throw this guy, this is my more overstable. This kind of came out almost kind of like a plasma-y Neutron blend. Just looks really cool. It's not transparent at all. You can't even see through it. But this is my overstable Trail. I can put this on a flex line. It's always gonna fade. If I let it go flat, it's gonna just push right. So between these two, I can kind of shape any sort of long distance shot that I can. I think I throw a 10 speed. So these are my furthest flying discs for sure, consistently. Can't get enough about the Trail. We're actually getting the brand new retooled Trails, I guess you could say, with the white rims and everything. They look really sick. They should be here any day now. So I'm probably gonna get myself one of those too. This is a newer disc in my bag, the Proton Wave from MVP. Can't quite figure this disc out yet. I haven't thrown it all that often. It's a really cool disc, and I've seen a lot of people throwing them, and they make the flight look so cool. I have not got there yet. What I have found this to be really useful for is a disc that I can put up really high in the air, and it's so understable that that I can let it get up there and it's just gonna float on that turn, but still have a good enough fade at the end that's just gonna like kind of fall flat. So this has kind of been my flex shot disc as of late, and that's been working for me. Super excited to kind of beat this one in a little bit. I'm probably gonna end up becoming like a roller for me at some point because it's so understable, but can't say enough good things about the Wave. I was super excited when we got these in. Moving on, I bagged 2 Horizon C-Line Cloud Breakers. These are the Gannon editions. I've aced with this one. This is my more overstable one. This is kind of like the Halix in the sense that I know I can just rip it. It's going to be super overstable. This is my more understable to straight one. If I put it on a hyzer, it's going to still push straight and then hyzer out. If I put it on any sort of like flat to anhyzer, it'll turn for me for a good distance before really fading out. These were my favorite distance drivers for a really long time. I used to have like 5 at one point. I've either lost or given away half of those, and this is for sure my favorite plastic blend that I've thrown of the Cloud Breaker. Then moving on, this is Neutron time lapse from Axiom. This is one of the first runs, so this is before they retooled it. For me, it's a little too overstable, so it's kind of hard to get a lot of distance with this one. For me, this has kind of become my more of a utility disc if I need like a spike hyzer shot. If I'm kind of need a scramble shot and I can tomahawk out and know that it's going to flip up to straight and then fade still. It's not going to roll. It's not going to do anything crazy. Don't throw this one all that often. It's kind of, this disc has kind of become a running joke in our friend group. Until I lose it, I'm gonna always keep it. It comes in handy when I least expect it. But the first run of time lapse, all right. The new ones are awesome. I've thrown them a couple times from other people's bags. I'm really tempted to get one, but until this one's gone, I'm holding on to this bag. And last but not least, my workhorse driver is the Axiom Tenacity. This thing's a beast. It's pretty understable, but still has a ton of fade. If I need a shot that I can just throw super hard and it's just gonna glide for so long, do a huge S shape, and just get me a ton of distance, this is the disc for that. Can get a little finicky in a headwind, but for the most part, this disc is super reliable. It reminds me a lot of the Crave in a sense. It's just a 13 speed version of a Crave. Flies really straight and really far. So this was a disc that I got purely because it looked cool, and I'm very happy that I got it, and I've kind of pushed it on all of my friends to get one too. And it's kind of been the same disc for everybody. It's just like if you need a big bomber shot, you're gonna pull out the Tenacity. Well, thanks for coming and watching the In the Bag. I've been super excited to put this series out and give you guys a little bit more behind the scenes stuff that's going on with Valley Birds. Check out Caleb's In the Bag, check out Nick's In the Bag. And we're gonna be answering some cool questions that you guys submitted to us, emailed to us, but asked on social media in between. And I hope you guys just get to know a little bit more about us. And I thought it was a fun idea for disc golf owners to show what they're actually throwing in the bag, because I get that question a lot when customers come in. What are you throwing? And I feel like this was the best way for me to kind of explain what I'm bagging, and my bag is changing all the time because there's so many cool discs to buy in this shop. So, peace.